Hey, what is going on, you guys? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with another Nova video guide in terms of the overall teams and synergies I've utilized to actually maximize the milestones for this event. So 4 days, 14 hours at the time of recording remaining, but if you recall, I made a video earlier in regards to difficulty 6 to unlock Nova, but that actually did not take advantage of all the milestones. So this video is more so intended for those of you that are trying to partake and finish all the milestones here. I do have all my teams and synergies to showcase for you guys as well. I can go through and talk about each node as well in terms of the difficulties. Having said that, guys, you don't actually even need to complete the last node here to hit that run score. So I'll show you the Scourges that we activated, but you can see here it's nice that this last node is actually pretty difficult as well. So that's why we wanted to map that out in terms of difficulty 8 and choosing the right Scourges, so that way you don't even need to finish this last node, because to be quite honest, you need a pretty beefy Masters of Evil team, and mine's only around 700k if you're checking my video earlier. So having said that, guys, if you are curious on the unlock and you're just aiming for the 3-star, I do have that linked in the description below just for the easy unlock. I think you only have to hit about 600k in points, and super easy if you have all the teams all ready to go. So my total packs here, or Scourges in this case, the equivalent is 90. And I'll just quickly scroll down here to show you guys what I activated. So we got Avenging X Factor, Man vs. Machine, Masters of Spider-Verse, on the offensive. We have Snake Eyes, Supernova, and then lastly Power Cosmic. The most important one really is Power Cosmic, because it allows all the Cosmic Crucible abilities to be active during the run, and that's really notable because especially if you have a lacking Masters of Evil team, this could be the difference maker of really supercharging that for some of the nodes. Now that we got that breakdown and overview out of the way, guys, I want to quickly showcase for you now the teams that I used, and as well as which ones that are probably the pain points as you're going through if you're planning to also push higher as well. So first and foremost, mission 1, super easy. I think if you have any of the meta characters like I shown here, Deathpool being an unlock for Apocalypse, same with Spider Weaver. We got the mixture of the Eternals, and Val being a new addition. The combination of these 5 made this node exceptionally easy. I don't foresee a lot of problems just because of the versatility, and we see a lot of there's no restrictions to this node, which makes it super easy to go through it. Now, next up we got mission 2 here. Oh, sorry, skipped the beat there. This is the first one that we actually partake in Masters of Evil. So I got a really supersized Kang just because I'm prepping him from Dark Dimension 6, but other than that, the rest of my characters are gear tier 15 and 14. So I think like you can see, the difference here maker is gonna for sure be how powerful your Kang is. He was absolutely just blowing all these guys out of the water, especially with these teams being actually higher than my characters anyways, the 4 out of 5 of them. Kang was really doing the majority of the work, and do know for this mission though, try not to use his ultimate because we're going to be needing it in the next node. So I was just using his special and doing damage, targeting all the high damage enemies, but no need to use his ultimate because that's going to be saved later on. Heading back here now to mission 3, and then honestly this is probably where things start to get a little tricky, because I believe this one, you could do a couple things, but this team seemed to work for me in terms of the synergy, but later on the city heroes do get harder. So Shang-Chi, Squirrel Girl, Cloak and Dagger, and Miss Marvel did a really good job. Miss Marvel has that natural taunt that comes up when your allies actually fall below that HP threshold, so that added some nice natural protection, and then having the debuffs with Cloak and Dagger is really what saved me. So sometimes you can prep beforehand and have a sack, but to be honest with you, I found that this combination of team got the job done. You just may have to reset this one a few times, so that way none of them are falling right at the beginning. But other than that, after a few tries, I was able to get the job done with this team and roster here. We got notes 4 here, being global bio. So I had to experiment a little bit with this one because I found that the full rebirth wasn't working effectively. I found that the full gamma wasn't having a full effectiveness as well, with the outside exception of She-Hulk not being the global bio here trait. But we have the majority of the mixture here. So what I did is I mixed up rebirth with gamma, and it actually worked out pretty good. We took a lot of the regenerative characters, so sustainability like Brawn, Captain Carter, Captain America, and Hulk soaking up damage. And Red Hulk was just absolutely tearing it up with his damage, his turn meter reduction, and his ultimate. So this made this node super easy. I highly recommend this team, but again, you're gonna need the legendary Horseman and Red Hulk to actually get the job done. He's very powerful for this node, and I find that he's pretty much a lock. It made it super straightforward and easy. Didn't have a hard time at all. Next up, mission 5, we go to Cosmic, and as you can see, a very similar team to my first node. The only difference being Kang, his damage has been added here, and it's really nice because of that ultimate. So we saved up some of his abilities from the previous node too, but you should have more than enough time to actually get all his energy back with Death Pool. So that's one of the nice things about activating that Cosmic, that power Cosmic we mentioned earlier, is that Death Pool is also going to be able to grant energy, and as well having this the Striker barrier for self, as well as Striker killing enemy, also generating ability on self. So there's a lot of opportunities for Striker characters to gain energy back, which is really nice for the Nova trials here. But yeah, Node 5, no issues if you're using a pretty Cosmic heavy team. I find they're just so versatile. And then lastly, a back-to-back with another Masters of Evil team requirement. So with this one, actually, it was quite difficult. I had Kang's ultimate ready to go for burst damage, but man, I think this is the one where I decided that, like, I think 2 out of my 5 characters fell. And then at that point I knew that I wasn't going to be able to finish the last node. But I added Quicksilver because by spawning Scarlet Witch, she was able to actually give a quick heal for the team. A couple of my guys were damaged up from the previous node. So Kang did the bulk of the work once again, but as you can see, you know, he really carried through, especially this team being super underleveled, and also where we were still able to actually accomplish the run score of maximizing all the milestones, especially given how lower this roster is. And then in my opinion, guys, this is where it starts actually picking up quite a bit in terms of difficulty. So pardon the attack attempts here, but let me walk you through what happened. First and foremost, it's pretty hard to start this node correctly with the team. So I mean, ideally I wrap things up with the same team that I finished up previously on node 3, which was Shang-Chi, Squirrel Girl, Cloak and Dagger, and Miss Marvel. But how I started things was actually using Web Warriors. When I used Web Warriors to get to a point where in this node anyways, we're up against enemies like Morgan Le Fay, Agatha Harkness, and Doctor Strange Heartless. So it wasn't my intention, but my Web Warriors fell when they came about. So then at that point, I was basically using attacks 2 and 3 essentially to sponge some of their ultimate abilities, and then finally went in for the kill with my A team being Shang-Chi, Cloak and Dagger, Miss Marvel, and Squirrel Girl. So that's why it happened with 4 attacks here. I think you can probably get the job done in 2 attacks, but my Web Warriors kind of put me in a bind. But if you're able to, I highly recommend a strong sacrificial team like Web Warriors, and hopefully you can take a couple of those abilities from Darkhold and then bring in that debuffed heavy team like Cloak and Dagger to clean up and finish the job, which we were able to do so successfully. We got mission 8 next. Straightforward as usual. I did make one minor modification here. So if you recall from the previous node, I did also have a combination of Captain Carter, but what I noticed for this one, because we are up against a Red Hulk at the end, we needed some sort of crowd controlling aspect. So I swapped out Captain Carter for Abomination and save Abomination's stun for the very end, and we were able to counteract that Red Hulk no issues. And as you can see, we were able to get the job done here. After that, it was pretty straightforward because of the fact that Red Hulk was the true issue. Everybody else was straightforward, and this team is just so tanky with you know, Hulk and Captain America generating energy and taunting non-stop. Red Hulk was constantly getting attacked and getting charges, and his battlefield effect was just demolishing enemies apart. And then here we guys have it. Last but not least, I love the Cosmic sections for the Nova Trials. Super easy. Pretty much the same team that I started the Nova Trials with, as well as the last Cosmic node. But you can see Eternals mixed with Kang, Deathpool, and Val. So that wrapped it up quite easily. This node was super straightforward, and with how much damage output's coming from the Cosmic nodes, they're definitely some of the easiest nodes to go through for the Nova Trials. I could try this, but to be honest, like I said, I only have like a couple guys alive left, and not meaningful, to be honest. This node is just jam-packed with enemies. You're able to get to it, you're just up against essentially the entire Legendary Horseman team in Apocalypse. So I did give it a try, but my guys just instantly got wiped out. So no point there, guys. So, but yeah, there you have it. Goes to show you though, you don't need to wrap up mission 10 to get the job done for the run score. You can get up to mission 9. Hopefully those quick tips and tricks for each node do help. That's really what essentially helped me to get through it. Thank you as always, you guys. Do appreciate your feedback, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.